She
It
found
was
gold,
11
but
plus 2.
from her excursion there, you believe she probably just found a shiny piece of gold floating in the water, or something very reflective.
Alright.
All right, both
I
of
don't
you.
know her well enough yet to actually converse with her. So,
So, do you have in possession this journal now?
yes, I do.
Okay. There is a large hole which appears to, as you would see from your stance point, lead downward into this dungeon.
Okay.
But of course, now that would be completely heading underwater. This hole is submerged, of course.
At this point, I would like to pull out um, the scroll I had for just such an occasion.
You do so.
I take off the little armor I have around my neck, revealing the fact that I'm part water dragon.
And you have gills.
Impressive. I have a scroll of water breathing.
Well, I can naturally breathe underwater. I don't have to use magic. Then.
I can use magic.
So can I. I'm part elf, you jerk. I just never learned it.
Elric, do you use this magic, this scroll?
I do. I recite the enchantment on it and...
Have you used it before?
No.
Alright. As soon as you cast these magical words, Ophelia starts looking at you very oddly as you begin to start gasping for air, as you are now unable to breathe.
I dive in the hole.
You dive in the hole.
I follow after.
Alright. Both of you plunge underwater. Please tell me you can see nothing but darkness.
So far, we can see nothing but darkness.
Very good.
We don't have it scrolled far back.
Alright, you will be in the middle. Give me one moment. Alright, I'm revealing your room now, adjust as needed, and this is where you
there
will
we
be.
are. Okay.
Elric, you
Now,
ever
first-
so slightly plunge into this water. It is cold, as expected. It is colder than you thought. This little tunnel does not go too far until it opens up into a almost perfectly squarish room, a chamber, which reminds you more of an actual dungeon.
Alright.
You are just
I want
kind of
to-
floating about the bottom. Or about
Yeah.
midway, I should say, before the bottom. It is
I want to adjust my eyes because it's probably darker down here.
it is
and I do
still
have-
pitch black as the floor above, but with your night vision it actually helps a little more underwater. So you can
Yes.
see essentially the walls.
Okay.
Ophelia, do me a favor and speak to Elric.
So what exactly are we doing down here?
What did I hear?
You heard what exactly are we doing down here? You heard it clear as day.
That's impressive.
I believe that also has something to do with the fact she's a water dragon.
Well, yeah. And I do have Draconic on my list of languages, so that probably helps too.
Can I use what teeny tiny bit of magic knowledge I have to try and make a light for the room? Just like a small little orb that can follow me around so I can see better.
Do you think you actually know
You're-
light?
What?
you think you actually
both of you
smell
have essentially a dark vision. You can kind of see in this darkness. But if you would like to make a light, do you think you actually know basic light?
I know the very, very bare minimums of magic and light.
Alright, you are able to cast light on an object if you would like.
Well, it's too late to go back now. So I pull out the little arrow and put cast light on it.
Elric, you can obviously see this golden arrow that has been cast light upon.
I give her the most dirty look I can think of.
Ophelia, you now notice Elric has not said a word since you have gone underwater.
What?
I attempt to speak.
It is exactly like talking underwater. Blurble, blurble, blurble. Soon as bubbles emit from your facial region, both of your little pendants that you have hung around your necks that were given to you by the auctioneer aglow and flash at each other a few times before they quiet down. Elric, did you attempt to say something just then?
I did.
What did you say? Or try to say?
What did I say about listening to dungeons?
Ophelia, that now rings in your head like telepathy.
I don't know, I wasn't listening. I'm sorry, you didn't have much interesting to say.
I swear, if this place kills you, I'm not bringing your body back.
I will die in an ocean of victory-ish.
Your definition of victory concerns me.
Victory. I had a great adventure.
Your definition concerns me. So,
This room about you is somewhat square, but seems to still be unnaturally put together like the rest of the place. Submerged for who knows how long, there is a door to the north-ish. This area up here. There is a door to the east-ish, a door to the south-ish, and 2 doors to the west-ish. More importantly, in this room itself, the only other notable objects is a very large, crumbled statue that kind of looks like it was emerging from the wall a bit, and somewhat the remains of a few wooden planks of a bed frame in the north corner.
okay.
Let's try north. We started off south last time, didn't we?
Yes. But first and foremost, I want to pull out a second amulet that I had prepared for this. It is an amulet of free moving. It allows me to move normally under restricted circumstances, such as through mud, through dense water, and others.
I just kind of stick my tongue out. I don't need stuff like that. I'm a dragon.
Ophelia, you are kind of treading water. You can easily swim about. And you can kind of just settle on
You're a
the...
Sora.
You can settle on the ground, but you do not need to actively walk. Elric, I will give this to you, as this is a little bit more than just dense water. You can effectively now walk, but you will be slowed a bit if you try to run.
Fair enough.
I head off north.
Alright, this northward door. It seems to just be a simple wooden door.
Can I push it open?
It seems to be unlocked as far as you can tell.
Can I investigate the door for traps?
Yes, go ahead and roll a... Just roll me a d20.
11.
No. You do not sense a trap.
Okay then. I just wave my hand like go ahead.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. I very slowly push the door open.
The door, ever so is hard to open, gives certain resistance, as 1, you're underwater, 2, this door is just as old as the rest of this place. As soon as the door opens up, you can immediately see a hallway here that goes down a little ways. Ophelia, roll me perception real quick as well, if you would.
14.
Okay.
What do I see?
Well, you see down this hallway, first off, more importantly, do you both of you try to continue down this hallway?
Yes.
Alright. Both of you are instantly jump scared as just like jacuzzi jets turn on and just spray you with bubbles from either side of the wall. Just essentially just pressurized air pelting you. It does not hurt, but it certainly startled you. Both of you roll perception once more.
17.
That'll do
10.
it. Elric, are you magically inclined?
To a point, yeah.
Could you give me a wisdom or knowledge check real quick with that?
I can certainly give you a wisdom. 17 plus 1 is 18.
Oh, perfect. Yes, both of you suspected that this would have been a trap, obviously. Given your certain underwater circumstances, this would have been a fire trap of some kind.
Well, I'm very, very glad that it's not. The last thing I want to do is deal with first-degree burns. It's really hard to get that singed fur smell off of anything.
This hallway is just as crooked as the rest of the place and opens up a little bit farther and a turn to the right and kind of a little bit of a headwards down.
Go ahead. It's like,
You think singed fur is difficult. Do you know how bad scales smell?
you're a dragon!
I'm a water dragon. I do not breathe fire, and I do not like fire.
I'm sure you've got some resistance to it.
Very little.
Well, then you don't have an issue. Not to mention, water doesn't burn.
Excuse me.
Elves do. And with that, I swim off.
Alright, Ophelia, you can see the hallway opens up a little bit farther and you suspect it might end in a dead end. You were not quite sure. And from here you can tell that this hallway would branch around to the left here.
Sadly, you're in the lead. I can't direct you at all. This is a narrow hallway.
Elric, this is, for token's sake, this is a kind of a wider hallway. It's easily two-person wide, but it'd be a tight-ish fit, giving all the brine and the things on the walls. But it's not just one person.
Can I see anything down the left little area?
Which way? Down to your right?
Further right, yeah.
From what you can tell, it looks like the hallway will turn, and you do not see anything of interest.
I think it's a dead end. Do you just want to go back, or do you want to continue?
Well, we need to keep going forward because we don't know if it's the dead end or not.
It probably is. I tend to lead us on dead ends. But we found some good treasure. Ish.
You,
Don't judge me.
you've already been judged.
I continue straight.
Dead end.
I keep right behind her. Dead end.
I told you I'd like to lead us on dead ends.
Well, now it's my turn.
Well, go, shoo.
Let's head down the hallway that we just passed.
Alright.
Elric, I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you all the way down, and there's a turn to the left.
Excellent. Let's try to head that way.
Fine. I'm gonna laugh at you.
Another long hallway with a slight turn to the left and a far turn at the far end.
Let's head all the way down to the end.
I want to look down this little path and see if I can see anything.
Elric, you see a slight turn. Ophelia, you can hardly make out a door. Appears to
I
be
will
another...
Hey, Elric, there's a door over here. Or I think it's a door. It kind of looks like one.
I wade back to her and just motion, lead the way.
At least I looked
This time.
before I swam.
This time.
I head down the little hallway.
Another wooden door. It appears to be almost out of frame, like it's broken off its hinges, but it's kind of, stuck within the walls.
Can I kind of kick it open?
Certainly, you just need to beat a 5. This is an old wooden door.
Natural 20.
This door goes...
The door is aerosol again.
The door would have gone sailing off the hinges. All you do is tap this door, and it just completely just melts into the water around it. It is now a haze. The door is gone.
It was not fibrous at all. All that was left was its image. And you touch it and it just... We could swim through the door.
You can't swim through the door.
I just ignore him and swim into the room.
This room opens up. It is juxtaposition as well as everything else, but more importantly, this room has thrown about several items which look to be of instruments of torture of ye olde fashion, but thrown about, as this room has been looked like it's been jumped in a tumbler like the rest of the place. Certainly aged as well. There's a few iron cages, a rack even. Elric, you even can spot something like an Iron Maiden kind of blocking a little corridor. More importantly, around the walls, kind of at odd angles, like puzzle pieces. Like this wall was, like the wall and the ceilings have kind of been swapped, further proving that everything's been thrown together. There are more glyphs etched about the room, but they are not glowing. They are just kind of scrawls you can hardly make out.
What can I make out?
It does not appear to be in any consistent language, but there are markings of what would you guess to be important, kind of scrawled about the floor, the walls, the ceiling.
Instructions on how to operate the torture equipment. I'm guessing.
There's a door to the south, and the Iron Maiden looks like it's possibly blocking a doorway.
Can I move the Iron Maiden?
It is a little bit heavy, but you can try with a strength check.
Your strength is immense. You got a +2 on it. So, 13.
I'll give it to you. It's a little bit... It's kind of grown into the floor a bit, but you were able to knock it to the side. You are met with an archway, which appears to lead into another room.
I continue.
I am literally right behind her.
Alright.
What,
Excuse
are
me.
you freaked out by a little torture device?
Give me 1 second, guys.
That's fine. And no, I'm not freaked out by a little torture device. If anyone's gonna get hit, it's you. Because I'm fairly certain you can take more hits than I can.
Alright.
I avoid danger. You...
I seek it.
Unfortunately, you can only see about this far from where you are standing.
Even with my little golden arrow of light?
Even with your golden arrow of light, because more importantly, there seems to be a veil, a mirror-like stoppage. The water actually stops at this archway. From what you can tell, the other side is dry.
I'm gonna try to enter the room.
Elric, you can see this as well. How do you mean try and enter the room?
I just want to swim through the archway and see if there's something blocking me from getting in there, or if I can go ahead and get in there.
Okay, you easily attempt to swim through this stoppage of water and immediately fall to your feet as you have phased out of water. You are now dry and dripping. This room is devoid of water.
I hold my little arrow up, trying to make out anything around it.
So only see about this much right now. Something is blocking your view. Something is preventing you from being able to see farther.
Okay, can I do a perception check?
Can I get through the archway first? You're kind of right there.
Elric, you go ahead and
step to the left.
you don't physically have to move, but Elric, go ahead.
I would like to try and step through and deactivate the Amulet of Water Breathing so I can actually breathe.
Alright. Before you do so, you notice as soon as she steps through this, she does not fully disappear, but you can tell Ophelia kind of fades out of view a little bit as she steps through this water wall here.
Okay.
You want to continue onwards? Was that what I heard?
Yeah, continue onwards and pull out the scroll as soon as I get on the other side.
Okay, Elric, do me a favor and roll. This will be stupid. Your cloak snags on the Iron Maiden.
Okay. Roll a struggle check.
I'll give you a struggle check.
It just makes sense that way.
I'll give you that.
That's another 6.
6 will not do it. Good news is you managed to pull yourself free and kind of fall almost prone through the water wall into the dryness. Bad news is you've pulled the Iron Maiden loose and you have now practically trapped yourself in here.
And you call me clumsy.
Or at least you pull it into place. You believe you could still move it, but you've essentially trapped, you pulled it back into where it was.
In essence, it's shifted back into place at least, because I don't have a good strength. I've got a negative modifier, I think, or a neutral modifier on that one. I really need to find that sheet.
Ophelia, you can see in front of you, kind of in the darkness, there is a very, very beautiful bioluminescent purple jellyfish floating about the ceiling, giving off a slight bit of light.
Intriguing. Yes, I know big words.
Elric, you also notice you cannot see much in this room.
Is it because of... Well, it can't be because of light issues, because I've got low light and dark vision. So that's not... Can I try and do... I don't have sense magic.
I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. From what you guys can gather right offhand... Just a microphone. From what you guys can gather, whatever is causing this room to be dry, considering you guys are underwater, whatever is making that wall of water magic, possibly has something to do with whatever's making this place dark as well. And you would suspect that this little jellyfish giving off light might be a light switch of some kind.
Can we see and...
Can I do a perception check like I was going to?
Yes, please.
Still proved to be rather stupid. 12.
There are other things in this room. You can feel the presence of other creatures, or other figures, I should say, not creatures.
So, what exactly can we see?
For the time being, all you can see is this jellyfish kind of floating about in mid-air.
Is there a way for me to try and enhance the light on my object to try and illuminate everything else?
I'm going to go ahead and give you kind of a cheapo trick, and believe if you affect the jellyfish in any way, you believe that this species will glow even brighter. Like it's photoluminescent.
Okay, so do I have anything on me that will allow me to harass the jellyfish?
You've got your hands.
I am not gonna get stung.
Then do not ask me.
You harass the crabs. You harass the fishmen. You're gonna harass a jellyfish. What do you have against the creatures of this earth?
I'm going to reach up and try and touch the top of the jellyfish's head.
head?
Or the squishy part.
It is trying to float out of reach, but you are able to do so. You lightly tap it on top, and this jellyfish completely gives off a almost blinding ray of light, which completely illuminates the rest of the room.
Ah, my eyes!
Yes, Elric, you are also flashbanged.
Lovely.
This is what you were met with!
Son of a gun.
Another jellyfish can be seen in the far end of the room. More importantly, you can see what appears to be like a coal bin in some sort of an iron kiln. There are several corpses thrown about this air-filled room, as well as several of these little sanguines, these fish warriors, these tribal-looking fish people with some spears. They've now noticed you are here as the room has lit up.
I look over at Ophelia and just mouth, I hate you.
This closest one will point a spear in your face, Ophelia, and mutter something in Gillish.
I don't have Gillish.
Am I able to tell if we just leave them alone, if they'll leave us alone, if we just try and get back out of the room?
From your
Yeah, good luck, it's blocked off.
From your original view... Oh, I am terribly sorry. Do you guys want to kind of do a panic check and quickly scan the room real quick? Or are you more worried about the people?
I'm more worried about the quote-unquote people.
Okay, Elric, there are no other ways out of this room then, from what you can tell. There are people in your face.
I want to do a check and see if I see anything of value or another way out in the room.
The items of interest you can immediately see, amongst all this panic, there is a cauldron over here, a rustic cauldron, and a kiln, a large iron stove-ish, like a fireplace stove. And of course several corpses that look to be adventurers or, dolled up in some ways.
Corpses bobbing in the sea.
Ophelia, there's a spear in your face. And an angry, grunting fishman.
I just kind of swat him away. Swat
You
the spear
swat
away.
the spear away. He will retaliate and attempt to swat you. Fortunately, with a nat 1, happens to miss his mark and kind of scrape the wall behind you. Like he went to jab you and just utterly missed. You are unsure if this is a threat or if he just legitimately missed. He does not appear to be happy.
I don't do combat.
Elric, this one will get up in your face with a spear.
I'm going to initiate attack on the one that's in my face.
Alright, go for it.
Okay, since he tried to strike me with a spear, I'm just gonna kind of take my boot knife and stab him with it, or try to stab him.
You have a hammer.
She also
And
has a
you're
tail.
going to stab him. You're going to try and fillet a fish.
Who knows, he might make a
Excuse me.
destroy him.
On the other side of the internet, I just throw my hands up in the air. If you could see this, it's...
You are internally freaking out right now.
I'm just staring at her like, you've got a hammer!
Ophelia, roll.
19.
Hit. Roll damage, a d6.
What?
Roll me a d6 damage.
3.
Alright, you... What were your intentions? I know you were trying to hit him with a knife. Did you have exact intentions?
I was just I'm trying to kill him.
Alright, with that strike and that damage, you downright just stab him between the eyes and he falls to the floor in a lifeless heap, twitching like a fish.
Can I have my knife back?
You pull your knife out as he falls to the floor. Elric, that one's still in your face, but these other ones will now advance.
Great, you've just angered all of them.
Fine, do you want me to get up there and see if I can move the Iron Maiden again?
No, because I can't move. I'm pinned between you and a fishman.
Well, then kill the fishman.
I'll try. I keep saying, I can't do combat.
You guys are very impressed